Hello and welcome back to my channel. So, yet, Houston, we have another problem. We get in a good direction and then something else gets in the way. So my main overall objective here is and I'll show you here in a second. When this body is fabricated, you see there, it's going to expose about that much of the rear leaf spring shackle. That's pretty good. Well, actually, that's going to be right to there. So you got this much here. And so we're on the good street here, to where I was going to body mount here, mount the plate here, it'd be great. But I wasn't thinking. So I made the small problem a bigger problem. So when I go to box this in, it's going to be all the way to here, all the way across and up and over and this way. Do you see the problem? So I'll let it go, skim across. Do we see the problem? When that body starts going up and down on that body mount, it's going to mess with my box when boxing it in. And it's going to be all the way from here, all the way to the top of here, and all the way this way and down. So that's a big old square, big old rectangle box. And so, can't make it solid here and make it to where the body comes off there. No. So that puts us back to almost square one. So, it looks like in order to fix this, I can't cut those ends off because I've already mounted my tub for my wheel well. Yeah, sure, take them off, put them back on, that's more work. So, I think to accommodate this situation is cut it out here across all three. Move this forward to where that pipe's going to be. And that'll give me something to tie that pipe into still. Then it would just be flat all the way across, down, and only from here down to here. And they can stay stationary. Then I could take these bolts out, swap them around to where these ain't sticking out. Or I can shave them off. Just cut them off. Be done. That'd be easier. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to get those bolts out, but they suck. I don't want to have to keep pounding and all that shit on it. It makes sense to have it this way so you can have more swing room to pound them out. So I think I'm just going to cut these off here. Then it'll be the same thickness as it would be here. Maybe a little bit thicker. But so that's easy shit, okay? So I think what I'm going to have to do is cut these bars. Much as I hate to do is cut these bars and shorten them up. So this bar will be lined up right here across the whole entire back of the car, of the body. Then it'll just be a square rectangle box here, and maybe put a spare tire here in the center, so it looks like it was intentionally done and serves a purpose. So that looks like where we're at and what we're going to do. And so I'll have to put the body mounts back up underneath the body, get it picked up in the air, put them in, so that way they'll be at the same height as this is. down the side. So yeah, that's where it looks like it's going to be, and then I got to figure out a body mount to go up in this section here. And the problem is, you got this much space through this side of the frame, but then you got this dumb shit. I don't know why. So that would only give me the option of very little, that where I may not even be able to go all the way up to that because of that piece of shit right there. Don't understand why that is not exactly the same as this. Why? Why would they do that? If the shock towers have to be at the same height, which they are, then why the fuck would they ramp this up in the air and not this? Why would that not be down like this one is? Just to make it to where it has to come straight across the back here. If that ain't a loose dick if I haven't seen one. The only way I can explain that would be like that for is because the torquing of the motor makes the one side rise up. Could be that causes it to counteract it. Why they would make that frame like that, I have no clue. And it's reinforced. It's like double frame. It's boxed in on that side. So anyways, that tends to throw a lot of measurement off on a guy that's had 4 strokes. So easy for most people, but when you have 4 strokes, you get things lined up. That explains a lot of my backtracking, because I'm like, what the fuck? And then do this, and then it's like, what the fuck again? So we're very close, but it's just a matter of figuring it out. But see, the whole thing of it is, the thickness of that body mount, it's not going to allow me to get to that. So it's like, I do all this work to cut that I'm not even going to be able to get to that point. So I gotta get creative. Make it to where this stays loose on the inside of the box so it can flex with the rest of the body. And put a set of reverse lights here. License plate there. It's the only way to make this look intentional. So it all came down to this decision of, did I want that to be out here further? No. The side of it is going to look good until you get to here. So something's going to have to take its place. There'd be enough room to put a spare tire from the original Model A wagon wheel. And then that way it looks like it's intentionally done. And then we'll have a strong mounting point for a hinge to be able to come up to where the tire lays back up against the trunk lid and gets latched. So much as I would hate to do it, it looks like I'm not going to be cutting these for that reason. So it's just push forward. It looks like that's what I'm going to have to do, and hope that it looks good in the end. So I'm not going to make it a sharp edge like this. I want to make it rounded. And have maybe like a decorative lip that comes around and then comes back around onto this side. And then maybe make it recessed for the tire in this area to where it goes down, and for the tire to sit down into, and it's able to lay back to the trunk lid and latch. So, looks like continuance of make the body mounts back here like this is. Set it up just like that. That looks like the way I'm going to have to do it. And it still plays a role because we're still ramped up there. But I can still make it happen and still be level. Just really fucking sucks. I mean, every which way you go at it, something else bites you. So it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do. So screw it. I'm going to make it happen. It's just going to have to be what it's going to be. And who knows, I may end up cutting that whole back section off later when I can find the whole back end of a Model A. Now, I might be more interested in doing that, but this will be temporary, just to get the wheel in action so I can continue back up there getting the rest of that done so I can get this vehicle actually running to be driven. So it looks like this is what I'm going to have to be stuck with. I can't change it. And overall, I mean, I can see what it's going to look like, but it's going to be what it's going to be. It is what it is, whether if I like it or not. So that's what I'm going with. All right, hang tight. I'll be back, and we'll see about progress today. All right, guys. Well, I do believe I now have a lower body mount. So what I did is I cut these off of here. That was the rear body mount. I cut it and modified it to where it fits in there like that. And of course, this will go up inside here. And this is what that body frame will sit on. That's the before. And now that's the before. And then that's the after. So then my frame comes back here, sits down on here. All I gotta do is measure, put a hole in my metal plate, and then weld the nut to it, so that way I can just run the bolt straight up in it. So what I had to do to the ends of this is I scored it down here just deep enough to bend it, and then I welded it. So it gives me extra strength across this, so she's not all messing around. So that's what I got so far. I'm going to continue the other side and make that happen. And then we will have rear body mounts. And that's pretty much where we're at. So I'll be back. Hang tight.